Now, before we went through the ritual, we got a communications from Davy Jones, a letter. All pollywogs got a letter from Davy Jones depicting all the misdeeds we did while we were in San Diego and Pearl Harbor when we were ashore. And that was outlined in that summons. We had to read that summons to King Neptune. Now, if I may, I want you to read the summons that I received back in 1944, and I still have it. I'd like to read it to you so you have an understanding of what was said. It starts off with saying USS LST 553 on entry domain of Neptune Rex. Notice listen, ye land lubbers. I order you and command you to appear before me in my court on the morrow, to be initiated in the mysteries of my empire. If not, you shall be given as food for sharks, whales, pollywogs, frogs, and all living things of the sea, who will devour your head, body, and soul. As a warning to all land lubbers entering my domain without warrant. And it continues. You are charged with the following offenses. This is what they charged me. I was associated with boats and mates while ashore and getting pie-eyed in San Diego, which means I got drunk. And that's what was sent to me. Now, I had to read this to King Neptune and Davy Jones that were sitting on the crown and dressed up, and King Neptune had a crown on his head, and we had to kneel down and read this to them for their verdict, if we were innocent or guilty. Well, you can imagine we were all guilty. So we had to go through the ritual. Now, this was something strange to us. There was 4 different stations we had to go through this ritual. The first station was the paddle line. Well, we had the shellbacks lined up, and they had rubber pallets, and we had to walk through the line, and they gave us a whack on our butts. Every one, we had to walk. Those who ran through had to come back and walk through, and they really got whacked. Not paying attention to orders. Well, that was the first station. The second station was, there was 4 altogether. The second was the dentist. He politely sat us down in a chair, and he said to us that we should back our heads and open our mouths wide so that he could examine our teeth and gums to see that they were correct. Well, while he was doing an inspection, he squatted some better liquid into our mouth that stayed with us most of the day. And today I don't know what it was. Well, anyway, that was the second. The third station was the barber. He politely invited us to sit down in a chair, and he asked us if we want a regular crew cut, or a trim, or a regular haircut. While we were about to answer what we wanted, he grabbed a chunk of our hair and with sheet metal shears cut a big wad of hair. And to top it off, aside of him, he had a big GI kit mixed with salt water and dehydrated eggs. It was very gooey. And he says, now we have to shampoo. So he grabbed a big wad of this and slapped it on our head and rubbed it down on our head. And all this trickled down in front of our face and back of us. And needless to say, with that hot sun out there, which was about 100 degrees, all that caked up was dried up. Now the fourth station was the water tank. We had 3 steps up to the water tank, and we sat on a chair facing our back to the tank. And they asked us all type of nautical questions that we probably couldn't answer. So any incorrect answer, they would give us a shock. I was sitting on the metal chair. Now we didn't know that that metal chair was wired to a battery. So every time we gave a wrong answer or no answer, they would give us a shock. Now this went on for quite a while, and before we knew it, they tilted the chair backwards and we fell in the tank. The tank was about 4 feet deep, and then there was 2 shell bags in the tank, ducking us constantly and asking us the question of what are you? I couldn't make sense of that. What do you mean, what are we? So if we couldn't answer the question, they were ducking again. And this went on for quite a while. And then one of the shellbacks says, answer shellback. So we answered shellback, and that was the end of the ritual. And this was done to every shipmate on that ship that was a polyglot. And then he finally became a shellback. Now everybody then were shellbacks on that ship because we were all one. From there, we still proceeded southwest to parts unknown after the initiation. We were traveling for days, and our ship could only go about 10 miles an hour. They were very slow. I said it was called landing ship tank, but we called them low, slow targets because of our speed. Well, anyway, we continued on a southwesterly course until we got to Guadalcanal. Now, when we arrived at Guadalcanal, that was already secured by the 1st Marine Division. They already conquered that island. We were there to train with them, loading and unloading their tanks on our tank decks on the ship. And we could carry 20 Sherman tanks on that ship in the tank deck. And above, on the main deck, we could carry trucks and other type of vehicles. We trained there until we were supposed to make the first invasion. And that was at Palau Islands, and the island was Peleliu. That was my first battle. Now, Peleliu, I took 36 combat Marines in my boat and landed them on the beaches. 36 combat Marines. As I hit that beach full speed, I lowered the bow ramp and they ran up the ramp like the sand up the beach. Many were killed instantly with the fire coming out of us. Some were wounded, some were killed. And that's what the invasion is all about. Every one of them that we did. Now, prior to us making that land, our fleet, battleships, cruisers, and destroyers pounded that island constantly before we landed to keep those Japanese down. And then before we landed, the aircraft came in and sprayed and dropped bombs all over that to handicap their fortifications. Well, anyway, once the Marines made their beachhead, then our ship came in, and that ship beached, and they had two big bow doors and a ramp, and then our tanks went ashore. Because at that time, the Marines needed backup tanks. And that's what the function of LHTs were during the Second World War. Now, that was our first invasion. Our next was in the Philippines. We landed 4 different islands in the Philippines. The first was Leyte. Leyte was where we had a sea battle with the Japanese. Terrific sea battle at Leyte Gulf and San Bernardino Straits. That lasted for a couple of days. And we come out victory on them. We sank quite a bit of their ships and aircraft carriers, and whatever fleet they had left, they scrambled away. Okinawa in the Pacific was the largest battle in the Pacific. It lasted for nearly 3 months. The sailors at that time were hampered by kamikaze pilots. You probably heard that. They committed suicide by diving on their ships. We found out later that close to 5,000 sailors were killed because of that action. And close to 5,000 were wounded. That's only the Navy, plus all the ships that we lost. Now they claim that Okinawa was bigger than the Normandy landings. We had thousands of ships. We had over 300 LHTs in that battle, taking Army and Marines in the beaches. When I landed, I was in the first wave with 36 combat Marines, and as I approached the beach, not a single shot was fired at us. No mortars, no artillery, no machine gun fire like we experienced in other islands. And we wondered why. Well, we found out a day later that all the Japanese on that island were in tunnels entirely in Okinawa, from one end to the other. That's where they were waiting for us. And the very next day, then hell broke loose. They come out and they fired. They were engaged with our Marines. Our Marines were victorious. They pushed them down south. We landed up near the north end of the island, and the Marines constantly pushed them south. While they were doing that, a lot of the civilian population, Okinawans, were killed by crossfire. They claimed that 50 to 100,000 were killed because of that. Our fleet admiral knew about this, and after we dispersed all our tanks and troops, he ordered us to go in the southern tip of Okinawa to evacuate these civilians. Our tank deck was empty, and we loaded all these civilians in the tank deck, and they stood up in there. We must have 1,000 or more civilians in there, older men, women, and children. And we took them up north because the northern end was already secure, and it would be safe if we deported them. And that's what we did. Now, on our trip from the south of Okinawa to the north, we found out later that one of the Okinawan women gave birth to a child. That was something strange. I never knew if it was a boy or a girl, but I wonder today if that child survived. Anyway, That ended the Battle of Okinawa. We lost a lot of men, but the Japanese were really disappointed. While we were in Okinawa and fought that battle, we then found out on August the 6th, the first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. We thought that the Japanese would surrender after they seen the destruction of that bomb and the killing of over 75,000 civilians. They didn't give up. So we in turn dropped another bomb on Nagasaki, which killed quite a bit of their civilians. And the Japanese finally then surrendered on August 14th. We were very happy that it ended. And we all knew at that time that we were probably coming home soon. No more killings, no more injuries. We were celebrating, believe me. All our ships in that bay were shooting their guns up in the air in celebration. And we knew then at nightfall that for the first time we were able to sign and light up our ship's lights, which we never did. We always had darkened ship. And once we had all these lights glowing in this harbor, and we looked up in the sky, and seeing the stars up in heaven, I thought I was in another world. We were all delighted and happy because none of us would probably get killed. So that actually ended the war when they surrendered on August 14th. But the official surrender, where they signed the declaration of being defeated, that was done on the battleship Missouri in Tokyo Bay on September the 2nd, which then was called VJ Day. And that officially ended our war. Now, most of our crew members then were draftees. A lot of them then were sent home. Since I was a 6-year enlisted man, my 6 years was not up. I still had to serve. So, our ship then was designated as a guinea pig ship. We had 28 volunteers on that ship to sweep out pressure mines in the Gulf of Japan. Pressure mines are mines that were dropped by our airplanes and they sank to the bottom in the harbor. Now, as soon as the ship went over them, the water pressure changed and the bomb exploded immediately right onto the ship. Well, we went back and forth in the harbors 6 times every 100 yards, swept the channels to see if anyone were alive. Now, mind you, the war was over. We volunteered to do this, and I was one of them. Stupid when I look back now. But anyway, somebody had to do it, and we had 28 volunteers. We were successful because not one mine exploded underneath. If it would, I probably wouldn't be here standing in front of you today. Anyway, after that, we were singing. I was singing. And years later, I was only separated because I still had to do it. 8 years later, I was already married, and 8 years later, I enlisted in the active reserves, and I fulfilled my obligations to my country, serving for 24 years. And folks, that ended my career. I thank you for your patience.